Here.
Commissioner Braska. Here. Commissioner Reiner.
I am here.
Commissioner Gamache.
Here.
Commissioner Schulte.
Here.
Commissioner Jepson. Here. Commissioner Meisner. Here.
Thank you. Next item will be the election of the county board chair for program year 2025. Just a couple of quick ground rules, I guess, as I would say, is to start the process, I will ask for a raise of a hand for a nomination. I will accept the list for all nominations if there's more than one. We will then look to that individual, ask if they're willing to serve. Then I will call for a second for that nomination, and then we will go through a vote. Once a majority vote has been provided for one of the nominations, I will then turn it to that individual as the chair of the board. So, with that, is there a raise of hands for a nomination? Commissioner Meisner, your nomination.
Thank you. I nominate Commissioner Mike Gamache.
Are there any other nominations or a raise of hand? Seeing none, Commissioner Gamache, would you be willing to accept?
Yes, I will.
Okay, do I have a second for Commissioner Gamache for chair?
Second.
I have a second, a motion. Well, a nomination and a second. By a raise of hands, all those in favor? All those opposed? We have a 4-3 vote. I now turn it over to Chair Gamache.
Thank you, Administrator Dickinson. Appreciate the show of support, and we'll get started on the next item on the agenda today, which is the election of the County Board Vice Chair for program year 2025, and I will place a nomination in the name of Jeff Reiner. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been nominated and seconded. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay. Hearing none, the nomination of Jeff Reiner is here. We'll take a vote. Again, we'll do it by a raise of hands. All in favor of Jeff Reiner as the Vice Chair for program year 2025, raise your hand. Those opposed? And it passes 4-3. Thank you. Congratulations, Commissioner Reiner. We move down to Chair's remarks, and I just want to say thank you for the support. I liked how well this actually works out. I was at the Blaine City Council meeting last night, and they do their swearing in before the meeting of their regular 7 o'clock meetings, so they had a lot of things on their agenda, so they had a packed house. I mean, literally they had to open up side rooms to hold people. It was so packed, but I thought to myself, am I glad we're starting at 8:30 in the morning and we get all that stuff out of the way before we get started on anything. But I appreciate what staff has done over the years, and I want to thank Judge Walker Jasper for swearing me in this morning. She did that, and after I went at 22 as well. We've been friends for a number of years, and her husband as well, Jonathan. And I want to send out to him because he had been ill for a while, had to retire from the judgeship. But the last time I saw him, when we were at Margie's together in Andover, he's doing well. So I appreciate that, but I appreciate the friendship from them, and I appreciate that she was able to do that this morning. Commissioner Schulte.
Mr. Chair, thank you. I want to make a quick comment on our process for chair selection. Some of my constituents contacted me and asked me if I would be interested and asked me if I'd throw my hat in the ring. And I did comment to them that at our work session that I had expressed interest in being chair and that I was going to throw my hat in the ring, but that was obvious that the majority of the board was supporting you in that, so that I wouldn't cloud the process at this meeting by making a circus of throwing my hat in the ring here, but that I previously had done that. So I made sure my constituents knew that and wanted to make sure they do that again today.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And you know, what we're trying to build, I think, again this year as we move from a difficult year in 2024, we had the tough job of having to find a new administrator, and that took a lot of time. And but we also have some big issues on our agenda again for this year, as we still have conversations going on regarding what we do with a new jail and where it gets located. So there are a lot of things that we have to work on, and we have to work on as a group and as a team. And that's the biggest part of this board. We're not affiliated officially, but things come up in life, and that shows maybe some support here, some support there. But we had a great meeting yesterday morning with 3 of our state senators and 1 of our state representatives over at the Blaine Health Human Services Building. Talked about issues that are going to come up in the next legislative session. They're obviously having a very difficult time that they're already talking about possibly delaying the session a little bit, depending on how things go, but that's not good. But we have things that we need to look at and we need to get done, including the work that needs to get done on Highway 65 and the money that needs to get brought in from different areas. But so we're really excited about working with them and the relationship that we've started over the years. I want to just say that having former State Representative Heinrich sitting here on the board is going to be helpful, I think. He already has some knowledge of people that we will be working with, and I think he's got some relationships that we can take advantage of when we're down there dealing with them and talking with them. So that's always good. But I appreciate their time yesterday that they took to help us out. And I'll move on. Oh, Commissioner Reiner.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I support you, Mike, for chair, and I did support you last year. And we don't share the same politics, but you are honest and you do have integrity, and that's why I support you.
And we also like cigars and some whiskey.
That's true.
Yeah. And we sing the same music. All right, we'll move on then to item number 8, which is to consider Resolution 2025-1 relating to the establishment of rules and procedures for the Anoka County Board of Commissioners for 2025. The resolution is attached. I want to mention, as we are moving into a new type of committee structure, which is the Committee of the Whole, which I'm sure people will be, well, for those that are watching, will be learning a little bit more about as we go along. I was asked to mention that the Airport Committee, that is an internal committee, but doesn't really meet very often. I think last year, Commissioner Reiner, Commissioner Jepson, and Commissioner Meisner were actually appointed to it. And if I'm not mistaken, they never had a meeting. But that has been added to the Committee of the Whole. That's just to make sure that that's understood from the board, that will be actually under that category. But do I have an offer of the resolution in 2025, or are there any questions anybody might have?
I'll offer the resolution.
It's been offered by Commissioner Schulte. Any questions or comments regarding the establishment of the rules? Okay, hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Item number 9 is to consider Resolution 2025-2 relating to the designation of public meeting notice facility, and there's an attached resolution as well. Do I have an offer of that resolution?
I'll offer the resolution.
An offer by Commissioner Brasted. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Item number 10, consider Resolution 2025-3, resolution identifying Anoka County local officials. See attached resolution. Do I have an offer of this resolution?
I'll offer the resolution.
Okay. Any questions or comments anybody might have? Okay, hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Item number 11, consider Resolution 2025-4, resolution establishing County Board of Appeal and Equalization. Do I have an offer of that resolution?
I will offer the resolution.
It's been offered by Commissioner Meisner. Any questions or comments on that one? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Consider Resolution 2025-5, resolution appointing hearing officers. Do I have an offer of that resolution?
So offered.
An offer by Commissioner Schulte. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Item number 13, consider Resolution 2025-6, Resolution concerning employer contribution toward medical insurance coverage for retirees. Do I have an offer of that resolution?
I'll offer the resolution.
An offer by Commissioner Jepson. Questions or comments? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, passes unanimously. Item number 14, this will be a roll call vote. Teresa put that on there for me so I didn't miss it. Consider Resolution 2025-7, resolution awarding the bid for publication of the Anoka County financial statement and the official proceedings of the Anoka County Board. This, you see the attached resolution and the bid tabulation that we received. Is there an offer of that resolution?
I'll offer the resolution.
Offered by Commissioner Meisner. Any questions or comments? Hearing and seeing none. This is a roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that passes unanimously. Item number 15, consider the appointments by the county board to the following metro boards, commissions, and committees for the program year 2025. And staff is passing that out to you right now. As you'll see down on item 16, nope, I'm sorry. Let's see which page I have it on. Yeah, 16A, that's where we talk about the committees as a whole. And when we were looking at this, as we all probably recall, under the Finance Committee, you have facilities management and construction have always been tied together with that. Under intergovernmental, library, license and passport services, medical examiner, veteran services have always been tied into that group. I think as we go along and we start doing this process as committee of the whole, and just for the public's knowledge, committee of the whole means usually at this point in time we would be showing the appointments of the chair, the vice chair, and the members for each of these committees. Now we are all going to serve on these committees. And so there's going to be a lead commissioner, and the lead commissioner will serve as that chair of that meeting. So let's set up an example for you. We've got 4 of them that are pulled out separately. Human services with a human services focus. That's because human services is a large committee. The management focus, the public safety focus, and the transportation / parks focus are probably the biggest committees that we have. And then we have some smaller committees, but they're all just as important. So those committees, those 4 committees of a whole will meet usually all by them as one meeting. That'll be just one meeting because we've got usually so much stuff that has to come before them. The other part, which is government operations focus, will include those other ones that are in the first part, which is finance, information technology, airport committee, intergovernmental, and property records and taxation. Now, those are all vitally important, but they will likely be in a category of having a meeting and have multiple committees or multiple meetings will be coming in. People will be coming in at those meetings. So then, let's say we have a finance, and we're also going to do IG. Commissioner Jepson is going to be the lead commissioner on finance, and she would start out by doing the chairmanship, and then if it went into information technology after an hour, I am set up as the chair for information technology. Then I would lead the committee or that part of the meeting, and then if it went into property tax records and taxation, Commissioner Schulte would be the lead or the chair in that part of the meeting. As far as if someone is not available as the lead for their meetings, it is my suggestion that the board chair would then step in as the lead, and if both the lead and the board chair are not there, then the vice chair would step in as the lead. That should give us coverage, I would think, moving forward. So that's how we've set up our own committees, and I've got everybody appointed except for our newest commissioner, Mr. Heinrich, and I told him that, once, and he even mentioned this to me, because I'd like to get 1 year under my belt before I chair a committee, and I understand that. I think we've all had that when I first got on. I didn't chair a committee until my second year. And that makes sense. You get an idea of how these things work, what the dynamics are, and that makes it a good opportunity to do that. So I appreciate that. So that's the committee as a whole, and that kind of gives the focus. Commissioner Meisner is on human service focus again, and also the management focus. Commissioner Brasta is on public safety focus. Transportation, Commissioner Jepson, and Parks, Commissioner Reinert. So for the most part, those major ones all stayed the same this year from last year. And then there's other ones that were appointed to that go down all the way through it. So if there's any questions or comments, I'm open to that. Commissioner Meisner.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just comments. I want to thank you and our administrator and the staff. This is a huge change in terms of the construction of how we conduct our business, and I am personally really excited about this change. We are all going to be there as a board, getting the same information, able to ask our questions. So I really am very optimistic about it. And I will also say I'm sure that the first couple of meetings might be a little bit bumpy. That is my expectation because this is a huge shift. But thank you again, both so much, and for staff for doing this. I think this is a very positive move.
I guess we got it. We have to do a motion. So do I have a motion on, it is starting with item number 15 on our agenda, and I think that runs us through half of what we have here, and then I think we go to number 18 and 19 for the other ones. So this is everything from on your handout.
I'll move item 15.
Thank you, Commissioner Schultz. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Meisner. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, this is all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. The next item then starts, I believe, with item number 18 or 19? 18, there we go. Consider the county board appointments to the following programs, which, as you'll see there, everything from the extension committee, internal audit, and then we get, and that's just those two. We've had one that was, I guess, dissolved, the East Central Creating Community. So do I have a motion on 18?
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Jepson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Meisner. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, this is also, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, passes. Item number 19 then moves us down to the Regional Rail Authority for program year 2025. That's just the appointments. And approval. Thank you, Commissioner.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Schulte and seconded by Commissioner Brastad. Any questions or comments for 19? All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Hearing none, it's approved. Next item is the Association of Minnesota Counties for program year 2025. You will see there the voting delegates, which includes the 7 of us, and then the county administrator, the transportation chief officer, and the human services chief officer. You have the AMC Board of Directors for next year will be Commissioner Reinert again, and I will be the alternate. For District 10 Executive Committee, Commissioner Reinert will be the on that, and Commissioner Heinrich will be the alternate. And from what I understand, it's a good opportunity for you, Commissioner Heinrich, to see how District 10 works. It's the local area here in the metro area. And you're able to go to all those meetings that they have, and a lot of times alternates do show up for those. So that'll be a good opportunity to learn a little bit more about what AMC does for us. And then the appointments to the AMC policy committees are below. I just started with Commissioner Heinrich this year into public safety. Thought that would be interesting one. You can go into any of these committees when you're at the events that AMC holds, and talk about them and be on other policy areas as well, because it's always kind of nice to get around and hear what they're saying. So do I have a motion on this, on the AMC?
I'll move it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Heinrich. Do I have a second? And thank you, Commissioner Reiner. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it passes. Item 21 is our appointments to MICA, the Minnesota Inter-County Association. I appointed myself and Commissioner Jepson with Commissioner Heinrich as the alternate. And do I have a motion on that?
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Jepson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Heinrich. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it's approved. Item number 22 is the National Association of Counties, or NACO. We have set it up for the annual 2025 conference voting delegates with Commissioner Meisner, Commissioner Reinert, and as the first alternate, and myself as the second alternate. Do I have a motion on that?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Meisner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Jepson. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it's approved. Item number 23 is recommend county board appointments for the Housing and Redevelopment Authority. This is basically the terms when they're all expiring. And for the first part, it is Commissioner Heinrich's. His term expires December 31st, 2029. All of these just expire on the same date. Heinrich, Meisner, Gamache, and Jepson. And then for informational purposes, the terms of the other trustees, Commissioner Brasted, December 31st, 2027, Commissioner Reiner, December 31st, 2027, and Commissioner Schulte, December 31st, 2028. I'm not sure if that's right or what that's, okay. It seems odd that it's different years. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Jepson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Brasted. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, passes. Item number 24 then is to recommend these appointments to the Anoka County Canvassing Board. Commissioner Gamache, Commissioner Reinert, and Commissioner Jepson as the alternate. Do I have a motion on that?
So moved.
It's moved by Commissioner Jepson. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Reinert, or excuse me, Commissioner Schulte. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. I believe, let's get back up to the agenda. Okay. Item number, okay, that was 16, we did that. All right. Here we go. This is always an interesting one for me. Consider resolutions 2025-8 relating to the appointment of the county agriculture inspector. See the attached resolution. It's not quite as interesting as the one we have about the weed control guy. That was always kind of interesting. But the information is there before you. We are appointing, let me get to the name here. It is Quinn, yes. And he works in our Parks Department. Parks area, Quinn Paler. And do I have a motion?
So moved.
Actually, it's a resolution, that's right. Okay, so Commissioner Meisner made the resolution. Any discussion? Oh, yes, Commissioner Meisner.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. No, just a comment. Actually, I thought this was one and the same because I believe my predecessor, Jim Kordiak, used to be the commissioner that was assigned to this, and it was commonly talked about as the weed inspector, but I think he did that for many, many years. So I think about Jim Kordiak every time that this comes up.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right, no other questions. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it's approved. And we go to item number 26, which is to consider appointing Oak Grove Mayor Weston Rolfe and the Andover Mayor Jamie Barthel to the Joint Law Enforcement Council for a one-year term ending January 2026, as recommended by Sheriff Weiss, pursuant to the Joint Law Enforcement Council Agreement Contract 2008-0279. Do I have a motion on this?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Brasted, and I will second it. Any discussion? the mayor, or excuse me, the joint law enforcement has this, and the sheriff makes these appointments of mayors from cities that use the sheriff's department as their police force. And I was honored to be able to sit on that for many years as the Andover mayor, and congratulate, I think, I'm trying to remember, I'm not sure if Mayor Wolf was on there last year, but I congratulate Mayor Barthel, or soon to be Mayor Barthel, because I think he gets sworn in tonight, as the new mayor of Andover, but they will serve on that as well. We had a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. It approves. It's approved. Item then last on the agenda, that was it. So if there is nothing to come before us at this point in time, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.